Hey, what's going on YouTube? BD Kane 721. Happy Thursday. It's June 30th, 2022. It's going to be my Friday because I'm going to be out tomorrow for a 4-day weekend to celebrate the holiday. So happy 4th. I'm going to be showing you a product today that I'm really excited about. Something I've been wanting to do for a couple weeks. I've had it in my possession for a couple weeks. I just haven't had the time to put a video together. So today's the day. I'm going to present to you something that I think pretty confident that I haven't seen on any YouTube channel in our little community here. It's a sport that's played in Australia, and it's something that I've gotten into over the last few years, and I've always wondered if they have sports trading cards for it, and of course they do, and they're produced overseas in Australia, and I thought, why not buy a box, show it off on my channel, and talk a little bit about the sport itself. Of course, I'm talking about Australian rules football. No, not soccer, and certainly not United States brand of football, but the brand of football they play in Australia, which if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend that you do it. I've left a link below to the league's YouTube channel, which is called the AFL, Australian Rules Football League, AFL for short. And this particular video shows you all about the league, all about the rules of the game, how it's played. I think one of the things that you'll notice right away if you haven't seen this sport is that they play without pads. It's a sport that is a combination between soccer, American football, and probably a little bit of rugby thrown in there too. So imagine those three sports combined together with no pads, and you get a pretty darn good sport to watch. I've had a lot of fun with it over the last 3 years. In fact, I have become a supporter of one team in particular because when I was a little younger, I took a vacation to Australia, spent about, I don't know, 80% of my time in the beautiful city of Sydney in Australia. And it was during our winter, their summer. In fact, it was over Christmas. My birthday, of course, if you all remember, is on Christmas. So I spent my 31st birthday in Sydney, Australia, on a beach celebrating Christmas. So it was pretty weird. But yeah, and I fell in love with the city of Sydney, and because of that, I have become what they call a Sydney Swans supporter. This is their colors. You can see their logo right there on the hat. They when you sign up for their membership, they send you a little membership package, which included this hat, includes a little bumper sticker, and then of course the one thing that I think that everybody loves is the Sydney Swans scarf, which has their logo on it, has the fact that you're a 2022 member. And this is pretty popular around the world, these scarves for all kinds of different sports, especially soccer, but they do it down in Australia as well. So this is the team that I support. Now, there are 18 teams in Australia that play in this league. It's pretty intense. I've learned a lot about the league ever since I started watching it. I still don't know everything about the sport. I don't know all the rules 100%, but I know I'm pretty good at it right now. I'd call myself kind of maybe an intermediate class as far as the sport itself. But it's a lot of fun to watch. I'm going to turn the camera around because what I ended up doing a little while ago is buying this jumbo box of what they call footy stars. Footy is the abbreviated term they use for the sport down in Australia. And this is what they call their jumbo pack, which we would call a jumbo box here in America. And I'm going to rip open a few of these packs. I'm not going to show you everything in this because, let's face it, most likely you guys aren't too terribly interested in this product. But I thought it'd be fun to show you a different product from another country, give you an idea of how they package up their product, and just have a little bit of fun with it. I hope you like it. Definitely go check out the video below. If you're ever sitting at home late on a Friday night or Saturday night because of the time change, Fox Sports shows their games every once in a while. I signed up for the app online, which is why I became a supporter, which is part of the package of becoming a supporter of a team. And That way I can watch any game anytime, either live or recorded. So it's a lot of fun. Let me turn this camera around. Before I do that, hit that thumbs up for me if you like this video. I understand if you don't, because this is a very different product. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel before, and let's get into this. I'm really looking forward to this. This is kind of a cool thing for me. I've never opened any of this product before, so I'm really, really looking forward to it. So I'll be back in a second. See you. All right, so here we go. What I have in front of you, as I mentioned before, is what they call a jumbo pack, which would, for us, would be a typical jumbo box of a particular product. This one's got 18 cards per pack. There's 18 packs in each box. I am not going to open this entire box here on camera. That'll take a very, very long time. There's no real reason for me to show you every card in this box, since most of you don't know too much about the league or too much about the players. But I wanted to show you what the cards look like and what you get out of the box. Even I don't know 100% what you get out of these boxes. I know that you do get some numbered cards. You can get, I think you can get some autographs. I don't think they're guaranteed. But you're just basically looking for those inserts and numbered cards, really, from what I've seen on videos of people in Australia opening this thing. You can see a lot of the different players here on the front, on the side. Some of these players I know, some of them I don't, just from watching over the years. I know that they have one Sydney Swan on here, and that's this guy right here, Tom Papley. I believe that's him right there. One of my favorite players on the Swans team. And then there's a bunch of other players here that I could probably name for you, but it really doesn't matter at this point. But like I said, they call it footy down in Australia. So these are footy stars. It's made by a company called Select, and that might sound familiar, but I will tell you that I'm pretty sure it's not the same Select that you see here in America. In fact, when you look on the back, you can see that it says Select Australia. I don't know whether or not that is the same company. They just happen to maybe have a branch down in Australia producing cards. I don't think so. My guess is that it's not. So the box was ordered from Australia. I got it in about, it took about 2 weeks, I think, to get it from them. It cost about a little bit over $100 shipped. So pretty reasonable. The conversion rate right now is, I think, in our favor, because you get more for your dollar down in Australia, but I could be wrong about that. Somebody might correct me on that. Looks like they've got a little tab here I need to cut open. So I'm just going to show a few packs so you guys can check it out. Once again, I highly recommend going to check out this particular sport on YouTube. And these packs are very similar to what we see here in the United States. It does give you some odds. So 1 and 2 packs, you're getting a common parallel called the Sunset. 1 and 3 packs, you're getting a Starburst caricature, ice. Maybe that's their number too. Maybe that the number in parentheses is what they're numbered to, and so forth and so on. There is a redemption there down at the bottom. Looks like you can get redemption cards. So those look like signature cards. They call them signature cards, I think, instead of autographs. So it looks like autographs are maybe redemptions. Okay, so let's just bust into one real quick, and we'll see how this goes, and then I will probably just cut the video short and send you off on your way. That's pretty cool. This guy's got my first name, or my last name as his first, King Lambert. So you can see this is a it's actually a really nicely constructed card. It's got kind of a glossy touch to it, very similar to what you're going to find here in the States. It's got a lot of statistics on the back. I won't get into what these statistics mean because it's not going to mean much for you, but you know, talks about the players, where they're from, and their different biostats. So, really nice looking card. And this is a player from the Richmond Tigers. There are 18 teams in the league, and the top 8 go to the playoffs, and they have a playoff system. But again, go check out that video. That'll talk all about that, the way they do their league and their playoff system. So again, you guys aren't going to know a lot about these players. One thing that is kind of interesting to note is that there is an American player who is pretty popular down in this league. His name is Mason Cox. He was actually in Topps Allen and Ginter back in 2019, I believe. So if you've seen that card, you know who I'm talking about. I think he was a basketball player at Oklahoma State, but he decided to go join one of the teams down in Australia for this league. So here's a Sydney Swan. You can tell by the logo there. This is Dane Rampy, one of the better players on the team. Sometimes serves as a captain, I think, for the team as well. I think you guys would be really impressed about these dudes down here playing this sport. It's pretty brutal. This is 100, looks like a 100-game milestone card. So this is a guy for the Melbourne Football Club that played in his 100th game in 2021, which is a pretty significant milestone for the league. So they always like to celebrate that. And then they also have a female league as well, which I believe is called the AFLW. And so they've inserted some of the cards from that league as well in this product. So if you like women's sports, there's cards for that. And so there's a couple of them in here. Guys, it's pretty amazing what these dudes do down there with this sport. They're playing with no pads. They're basically playing a style of football where they're hitting each other, sometimes at full speed. It's pretty crazy and pretty impressive. Okay, so what do we got here? Mitch Robinson. This guy is actually really popular on YouTube. He is kind of like the, whenever you see the mic'd up versions of baseball or things like that where players are going around interviewing each other, this is what that guy does. He has a big presence on social media. Another AFLW. So they have several of them in this set. This guy's a pretty big veteran in the league. Another Sydney Swan, Josh Kennedy. He's been around quite a while for the team. In fact, he's one of the few remaining players who played on their championship team in 2012. He was kind of a rookie back then. That was the last time Sydney won a championship, which they call their grand final. Their Super Bowl is called the grand final. It's held in September of every year. Not really sure what this is. So here's one of those caricature cards of Keziah Pickett. Never heard of him. But these are supposedly pretty sought after cards, especially if you get... this is a really cool one for me. So Isaac Haney is one of the stars of the Sydney Swans team currently. He's one of their younger players. He's been around for about 4 or 5 years. And this is the Sunburst card that I guess you get one every 2 or 3 packs. So this is more of a rarer insert, and you can see the real big shine on this card. It's got kind of a orangey tint to it. Awesome card. Good hit for me as a Sydney Swans supporter, so I'm happy about that. Put that aside. A couple more AFLW cards, and that looks like that's about it. Yep, back to the beginning. I think what I'll do is I'll just open one more pack because I'm hoping maybe there's something special in one of these, and then it's already 9 minutes in, so into the busting here, but I think the video itself is going to be a lot longer. If anybody's interested in this product or these cards, let me know. I think what I'm going to start doing is maybe sending them out in packages that I send people, care packages, so they could check them out for yourself. I don't really have a lot of need for them. Oh, there's Isaac Haney again in his base card, so it looks like I might be doing a rainbow of Mr. Isaac Haney. Another caricature card of Marlene Pickett. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you appreciate a new product like this. Again, check it out. It took me a little bit of time to really understand the rules of the game. It took me a little bit of time to really get into watching the sport on a regular basis, but ever since I've made that choice, I've really enjoyed it. Highly recommend it. Give it a shot.